All right, and hey, y'all. Happy New Year. Today is January 1st, 2025. Welcome to the new year. Thanks for tuning in. One of my New Year's resolutions is to try to make more data science videos focused mostly on the topic of finance, financial services, investing, risk management, asset management, portfolio management, things like this. Retirement planning, things like um, things of this nature. So I think there's serious financial literacy in the United States. Um, you don't get it. You don't get exposure to it as a grade school student. My son is 8 right now. He has no access to any kind of finance or investing whatsoever. Even when you get to high school, I don't think I've ever seen a high school teach it. If you look at the curriculum, they just tend not to focus on finance. I've heard two theories why that is. One one is actually very pernicious and almost slightly evil. I've heard some people say that Wall Street doesn't want you to know how finance works because then you can use your brain to make a lot of money and you can basically beat Wall Street at its own game. I don't know if that's true or not, but it might be. I mean, there's a lot of people on Wall Street that don't want to share their secrets. They want to share their inside knowledge, their recipe for success with other people because it makes them very wealthy and it keeps poor people poor, right? So that could be that theory. I don't know if that's totally true. I've heard that. Another theory is they just don't have the training and the resources capable of teaching kids at a grammar school level or at a high school level what is personal finance, what's retirement planning, what's investment planning. A lot of people just don't get access to this, maybe because of limited resources. So I don't know what the actual reason is, but I'm going to try to share my knowledge with you. I got my MBA in finance back in uh, 2003, I guess, so like 21 years ago. It's been a while. I've been on Wall Street for 2 decades, so I'm going to try to share more of my knowledge with you guys and try to basically demystify the world of investing. So I'll have to try to put together some more videos about investment management, investment analysis. I have several on these topics, but I think I can come up with several more too. So let's look at one pain point in the financial services industry today. This might be across different industries, maybe aviation, um, uh, what else? Manufacturing, supply chain management, automobile manufacturing, maybe this plagues other industries. I'm not quite sure. I spent most of my career in finance, but definitely finance has a lot of silos. So they're called data silos. So you have data in one area, in another area, and another, and another, and another. And it's not merged, it's not shared. And sometimes people don't even give you access to their data, even when you should have access. I've seen people um, be denied access when their job was literally DBA, database analyst, and they had to analyze the data. And sometimes people wouldn't even give them access to that. I don't really understand what that's more like a power play or something, but it is hard to get access to these data sources, right? And it could be anything. It could be a database, it could be XML data, it could be data stored in various CSVs. You can have a data lake, you can have Excel files, you can have HTML, you can have Parquet files. It could be numerous different sources. It could be 100 different sources of your data, right? So let's look at a couple examples here of data silos and how to beat this problem. Okay, so in the finance world, we have different challenges: data quality or integrity, consistency, and continuity of data. That's a problem. We have regulatory concerns, right? The financial services business is highly regulated. Talent shortage. That's what I was talking about before. So there could just be not enough people around that have the knowledge or the skills to be able to do the type of work that needs to get done. There could be cultural resistance, especially for older people. I've battled that back in the day. That was not fun. Maybe when these people retire, eventually that problem will be resolved, but it's still alive and well. I guarantee it. Cultural resistance is alive and well, guys. Model complexity. All right, a lot of people don't trust black boxes, so the simpler model should be chosen, right? This is called what is it? Occam's razor. The simplest decision should be the correct decision as long as it works, right? Like if it's too simplified and oversimplified, it doesn't work, you can't use it. But you don't need to overly complicate things. I've seen things that are seriously over-engineered. It could have been done much simpler. I don't know why. Maybe job security, right? If somebody creates complex models and only one person knows how it works, that creates job security for one guy, but it couldn't hurt a lot of other guys. And data silos. That's the problem that we're going to focus on today. Okay. So let's say we have three different data frames. I'm going to go ahead and hit Control Enter to refresh this data frame, and Control Enter to refresh this. So we have very small data frame. But again, let's imagine this comes from one silo. We're going to have three silos. So this is silo number 1, silo number 2, and silo number 3. And again, we don't want to merge all the data in the world together, but let's say this is data that's relevant to us. We have account balance, transaction count, and monthly income for our financial services enterprise here. Then we have account balance, transaction count, monthly income, and investment value. And let's say this is coming from a database. This is a CSV sitting on some dude's laptop, right? Or network drive. We can say network drive so other people have access to it too. And this comes from email, right? So there's a lot of there's so many data sources just come with email attachments that are not structured. There's no like supervisory overview, no compliance whatsoever around these types of things, right? But let's say we have a third data source here, another silo. And again, the silo is like one cut of data and another cut and another cut, three separate instances of data that we have to merge together to do our analysis, but they come from different sources, so it's a little bit challenging to get everything aggregated together, right? So we have this account balance here. Let me refresh this and refresh this. So we have our three different data silos, data sources. You can call it whatever you want. We have 7.9K up to 31K. And look at the field names. So this is very important. So we have account balance. Anything with account balance, I want to merge underneath this account balance. So I'm going to start with this 7.9 to down 7.5, and then 21K to 55K. And then we have about account balance, transaction count, and monthly income. And we have this over here, investment value. So we have very similar, exactly the same naming conventions over here. We have an extra name in this column over here. And then over here we have investment value. So that name matches up with this name. That's the investment value. But we have some different field names over here, or feature names. So we have stock holdings, bond holdings, and ETF holdings. So when we merge this together, this is called dataframe concatenate. We are using pandas to go ahead and do the concatenation. We want the axis to be 0. So basically the axis is the almost like the index. We want the index to be 0. So basically ignore the index, and we set ignore index equals to true. So we're setting like two flags to 0. This is 0, and ignore index equals true. Anything that is just 0, we are going to fill in just with a blank, right? If there's nothing there, there's nothing there. And that's just the way it is. Okay, so we start with 7.9 and end with 31, and then have 21 and 54K. So that's what we see down here. Let me refresh this. Control Enter to do the refresh. So 7.9 end in 31 and 21K, ending with 56K. And that's exactly what we see over here. 20K ending with 56K. And because these feature names are the same, investment value, we have 15K going up to 59K, and that is going to be appended underneath this 11K to 56K investment value. So we see 11K to 56, and this gets appended underneath 15K and 1.5K, and that's what you see there, right? And then it goes down to 59K for ETF holdings, 59K for ETF holdings. So there we go. So we had three different silos. Silo number 1, silo number 2, silo number 3. We convert each one to a data frame and concatenated everything together. Okay, so pretty easy, pretty straightforward to do this. I had to do this literally for a job I had back in about 2019, 2020. Spanned about 2 years there. Or actually like spanned 1 year. It's like almost 1 year to the day that I started the project and ended the project, even though we went across 2 years. But I had to do this for millions of files. So I had to find the relationships between the feature names and then merge everything into different data frames. It turned out to be about 225 different data frames. And then I had to push that into about 225 different tables in SQL Server. They called it Synapse at the time. I think it's kind of a cool name. Is it really Synapse, or is it just like a cool naming convention? Not sure, but that's the way it was. But it's basically just SQL Server under the hood. It's all SQL Server. So there's a quick and easy way to take over 1 million files in your data lake and convert that into 225 or whatever. In your case, it's probably going to be different. 225 structured data sets, right? So in the financial sector, this is very important to take these financial silos and try to distill it down into something that's meaningful, something that has a purpose, something that has like a significance, some kind of definition to it. And this synergy basically helps us to reshape data that is kind of out of shape, right? If you have 1 million files that you're working with and you have to distill that into 225, this is a quick, easy, simple way to do that. And the benefits are obvious. You can have you can go ahead, once the data is structured, you can do fraud detection, credit scoring. I have a video on that. Portfolio management, I have a video on that. Operational efficiency, I have a video on that. And customer insights. Not sure if I have a video specifically on that. Maybe I have to create one because I covered the other four. Maybe I should be put that on the table for one of my next videos to do. So that's it. That's it, guys. Hopefully this is helpful for you, dropping this kind of knowledge so you can go ahead and take this data that is scattered all over the place, merge it together, make sense of it, and draw useful insights, and then great value, right? That's what this whole thing is about, is either increasing your revenue or decreasing your expenses, right? That's why we do this stuff, okay? So there you go. I'm going to wrap it up. Thanks for your time today, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.